What have you done? You have left this country. This is your fault.
Australia's leaders are facing a massive backlash over the Bondi terror attack. Critics have argued the government's handling of anti-Semitism ultimately led to the mass shooting.
Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia.
If a KKK group marched in front of a black church saying the South will rise again, and a leader in the South said, well, it's not the language I would use. Of course not. You'd say I have zero tolerance. That rhetoric is incitement.
This sign appeared over a Bondi apartment block the day after the attack, saying "Welcome to Albo's Australia." Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke was heckled when he went to a morning vigil in Bondi.
James, what have you done? You have left this country. This is your fault. Well done. Blood on your hands, Tony Burke. Shame on you.
He later said he understood the community was still raw from the attack, but that he wanted to pay his respects.
It was still important that I be there. It was still important as a minister in the government that I be there, that I go to the scene, and that with the police commissioner, we both lay that wreath.
Green senators were also slammed for attending the vigil.
Haven't you only fueled the anti-Semitism crisis by your aggressive rhetoric over the past 2 years?
We are here today to mourn all those who have been unforgivably. We are here mourning and giving respect to the community.
You have been at pro-Palestinian protests where they have
Shame
called
on
for the
you.
Intifada.
Blood's on your heads.
You have been
Shame
at
on you.
pro-Palestinian protests.
You're a disgrace.
Burke put out a statement saying it was important for her to pay tribute to the victims. Opposition leader Susan Lee accused the government of failing to keep Jewish Australians safe.
Every single day for the last 2 years, the lives of Jewish Australians have been made harder by this rising tide of anti-Semitism.
One Nation's Pauline Hanson went even further, blaming the government for allowing immigration to continue.
You keep voting for these bastards that actually don't have pride in our country and our Australian flag, then be prepared to get what we're going to get.
Foreign media outlets listed the wave of anti-Semitic attacks in Australia over the past 2 years.
On the screen, this is Melbourne. A year ago in December, a synagogue was hit with arson, set on fire. The following month in Sydney, this is January, a synagogue was vandalized. Also in Sydney, same month, cars set on fire. Then back in Melbourne in July, an arson attack on Shabbat at a synagogue in Melbourne. And then we had the horrific events of Sydney, Australia yesterday in Bondi Beach.
I mean, the Prime Minister has been Mr. Yes, but maybe on this and indeed on other matters. But if he'd have shown a little more determination from the beginning and sounded as though he felt it, perhaps some of the anti-Semitism that has spread over the last couple of years would not have occurred.
But Anthony Albanese has rejected the criticism against his government.
When the inevitable calls arise from some parts of our society linking the Bondi massacre to Muslim immigration to Australia, how will you respond?
That what we've seen in the last 24 hours ago was the worst of humanity in a terrorist act, but we also saw an example of the best of humanity in Ahmed al-Ahmed running towards danger, putting his own life at risk, being shot twice by the second perpetrator as he took the gun bravely off this terrorist, and that saved lives. We in Australia, regardless of where who people believe in, what their faith is, or whether they have no faith at all, overwhelmingly, we are a great nation, and we are not going to allow anyone, let alone these terrorists, to divide us.
Immediately after the attack, he said this is a moment where the nation needs to come together and stand with the Jewish community.
Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done, and we will come through this together.
Australia saw more than 1,600 anti-Semitic incidents last year. The government criticised the attackers, strengthened laws against hate speech, and appointed an anti-Semitism envoy. But local Jewish leaders said there was not enough being done to protect the community.